Okay, so finally, I've got round to making an overview and demo of this VAX air cordless lift. Now, this isn't mine, this belongs to my mum, and she got this at a reduced price of £120, and it launched at £349, which is very steep, I think. I think it's a bit too expensive, really, but that's what they're retailing at, and people seem to be buying them, so... Anyway, she got this as sort of a deal thing through VAX because she was a returning customer. So there was only 200 available at that price of £120. So she was one of the lucky customers, and she actually got this. This arrived before it launched on the website, so she was one of the first ones to get one of these. And I believe this is recently launched in the USA as the Hoover Air Cordless Lift. Exactly the same machine. Only difference is that the VAX lettering there and on the battery, it's just a Hoover roundel. So the only difference is the name. Other than that, it's exactly the same machine. So let's talk through what you get with it when you open it up. So you get the batteries and the charger. So VAX do kindly provide you with 2 batteries. Between both of these you get about 50 minutes of run time. It will be less if you use the boost button. And on each of these batteries it will be a little bit less than 25 minutes if you're using it on the boost. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. So you do get a 6-year guarantee on these batteries as well as the whole machine. But you do have to register that guarantee, so if you don't register it you won't get your 6 years, so you need to make sure you register it. Otherwise you'll have to be spending about £80 on one of these batteries, and that's pretty insane. So anyway, you also get the docking charging facility thing here, which you just plug into the wall, and your batteries, of course only one at a time, but they fit in at the bottom first and then click down, and a little blue light will flash saying that the battery is charging, and when the battery is charged the light will go off altogether. And VAX say that this takes about 3 hours to charge one of these batteries. In actual fact it's only about an hour to fully charge it from dead, so they are pretty quick. So these, in my experience, they haven't taken 3 hours anyway to charge. And there is a little test button on the bottom there in blue. You press it and the lights light up, showing you how charged the battery is. So I've got 3 there at the moment, so that's fully charged. And this one's the same. So that's the batteries in the charger. Put that one in for now. It fits in the machine the exact same way as it would on the charging bracket. You just put it in at the bottom first, and then it clicks in place like that. Also, if you don't put the battery correctly into the charging dock, a little red light will show on the charger, showing you that it has not been put on right, and you need to take it off and reinstall it. So you also get the I think VAX calls an up-top tool. So similar affair to the Dyson up-top tool, except the dusting brush on this is a lot softer. I mean, that it's lovely, that, so just keep doing that. Actually, it's very soft. So I wouldn't be afraid to dust anything with that. And it does pivot into 4 positions on each one of these. You just push them and it can pivot into 2 positions that way, back to straight again, or you can pivot it back on itself into 2 positions like that. And of course the end with the hose on does the same thing, and it'll go the other way as well, like that. It's got a nice flexible hose inside the contraption itself. So I'm hoping that that wouldn't split over a period of time, but you never know. The only onboard tool you get with the machine is this combined crevice tool and dusting brush. Again, very similar to the Dyson tool. So you use it like that as a dusting brush, as a crevice tool, and you push it up till it clicks, and that's your dusting brush. And to push it down again, you press the button in and pull it down like that. And that does store on board on the side there. You don't get any sort of upholstery nozzle with this, but with that said, the suction isn't really very strong, so it might not be that great for upholstery anyway. I'd say that the suction you get through the hose on this is probably about as powerful as a Hoover Turbo Power Total system back in the 90s that had the onboard tools. So that was a dirty fan cleaner, so I can compare the suction to that really. It's probably about the same sort of power. But I mean, for a cordless, it's really powerful. It's more than a dustbuster, I'll tell you that. So, starting at the bottom here, we have the cleaner head. So, this has wind tunnel technology with 3 channels of suction. It's also got steerable technology, which means, you know, when you're pushing it around, you don't just have to go back and forth like that. You can twist the handle and it will pivot from side to side like that, so you can get around corners easily. It does seem to be a little bit more manoeuvrable than the Dyson ball cleaners. So I'll just show you underneath. So here's the brush roll area. So you've got 4 wheels. You've got the 2 rear ones, and you also have these 2 little ones. And if you need to access the brush roll to remove it, to change the little toothed belt, or cut the hairs off more easily, there's 2 little tabs that you press there, and the base plate just pops right off. So, I just thought I'd show you while we're in this area. The thing that makes it wind tunnel, that gives it the 3 channels of suction, is this little red piece of plastic in here. So, basically, there's a little channel at the front there, where I'm running my finger under. That's one channel. You got the main one in where the brush roll is, that's the second channel. You got the one at the back here, and that's the 3rd channel of suction. So that's what gives you your wind tunnel technology, this piece of plastic here. Very simple, but I suppose it's quite effective. So here's the brush roll. Very easy to manoeuvre. Remove. It just pops out if you need to take it out. Of course, with the base plate off. But that just comes out like that and goes in very easily. And it does have a toothed belt, so it won't stretch like conventional uprights do. The brush roll bristles are very long and pretty stiff. They're not as stiff as on a Dyson, but they do seem to do a very good job. And it's quite a good brush roll, that is. You can also have a bit of an access there to feel if anything gets blocked. You can unscrew it if you need to go in further, but you should be able to feel about in there. So there's the base plate that just fits back on. And that clicks in place. So there's no tracks in the base plate, so you should get full cleaning across this brush roll. Sometimes they have lines in them to stop things getting tangled in the brush roll, but that leaves dirt behind. So you have a nice velvet strip on the back of the base plate there, supposed to stop things scattering back and to help it glide easier across the carpet and hard floors. It doesn't really edge clean that well. The bristles don't get very close. The rotating ones don't anyway. It's even less on this side because that's where the belt is. They have compensated with little suction channels and these fixed edge brushes that seem to do an okay job. But that's the brush roll area anyway. Got nice rubber coated wheels so they won't scratch the hard floors. So that's underneath the machine. So of course, as I said, there's your battery. Just easily removes and it reinserts. You got the bin here, which just pulls out like that. It comes off slightly differently to the original Air. Because this has the lift off feature, the bin is removed slightly differently. So in the top here there's a little cassette that houses the filter. And that's got a nice rubber seal on it. Hard to remove with one hand. But that it says wash every 4 to 6 uses, so it does need washing, that really. And it does smell a little bit, but anyway. Once that's fully dry, you just insert that back into place. Like so. And that's that. There isn't any post-motor filter on this machine. Unfortunately, but, you know. To insert this back into place, there's a little tab at the back. It just fits in like that. So to empty it, there's a little button you press there, at the bottom. And the bin should drop open, like that, and all your dirt should drop out. If you need to untangle any hair that might have wrapped around the shroud, there's 2 little pieces you can put your fingers on there and the whole cyclone unit just lifts out. You can give that a clean. I wouldn't wash that. It's not recommended you wash it. You can see there's a bit of muck on it there. But that's good that you can take it out. And it can be removed on most cleaners these days. But that's that anyway. That just fits back in place. Of course it only goes in one way, because if you look at the shape of the bin, you look at the shape of that, I mean it's a bit self-explanatory. And it shows you how to remove the filter and wash them and that sort of stuff. So the bin just fits back in there like that. It clicks in place. It's quite a small capacity, but I mean it's adequate. So here's the lift off feature. You press the button there and you can remove that to clean things, and you know, if you're using the tools, so you don't have to have it attached to the main unit. So here's the hose that comes with the machine. It's a lot longer than the original Air Cordless. This won't reach right up the stairs, but it doesn't really need to, because you can actually, like I said, lift this off the main unit and just sit that on your stairs while you clean them. It is a nice, clear, stretchy hose. So if something gets clogged in there, you could easily see it. So I'll just see if I can show you how long the hose will stretch out to. Just pop this behind the chair here so I don't pull it over. That's about the length you get on it, so it's pretty long. I mean, you probably won't be able to pull that along anyway, because it'd probably fall over, but that's how long the hose is anyway. So that's your onboard hose, and of course you can actually remove the handle, which would probably be impossible to do. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. You can remove the handle there and put the hose into the end there. You see that? Click it in place, and you can use that as an extension wand to clean up high and things, and that just clicks back in place to be your handle, like that. That just removes off there and fits back into the machine there. So here are your controls. You got the on-off switch there, and you have a boost button. That's really only needed for when you're using the hose. For normal carpet cleaning, you can just leave it on normal, but I'd recommend, if you're using the hose, to put it on the boost, and it does add that extra power that's just enough to make a difference. On the opposite side, you've got a brush roll on-off button. The brush roll does automatically turn off when you stand the unit upright, but that button's used to turn it on and off for when you vacuum in between carpets and hard floors. So that's quite useful. So another thing I forgot to mention further down is, I guess I can take this off for this. On the unit itself, it has a little LED headlight built in there, which is used for when you're vacuuming with it as an upright. So if you go in dark corners or anything, it does light up the path of the machine very well. It's very bright light. It's 2 LED lights in there. But if you're using it as a lift-off cleaner, if you had a dark area in your stairs, just say, I mean, you could tilt it and use it as a torch, or flashlight, you call that in the USA. But yeah. So that's quite useful for either, the headlight is quite useful for using it as an upright or the portable cleaner. Well, that's that anyway, and there's a carry handle there to carry the machine. And there's also little points here. I don't know if they're specifically carrying handles, but you could use it as a carry handle if you wanted to, at the back there, like that. I don't know about the bottom one there, but... So here's the hose that takes the suction down to the main unit. On the original Air Cordless, it just went straight from the bin right down to the cleaner head under there, and you had to unclip it. And it was a very short hose. So it's nice that the new Air Cordless lift has the lift-off feature and a much longer hose, so it's a lot more convenient. I'll just show you the rating sticker. So, if you can see that, the model is U85-AC1, sorry, ACL. Yeah, U85-ACLG-B. The wattage is 150 watts and the voltage is 20 volts DC. So that's pretty high voltage, really. To think that the this dustbuster that I have here is only 2.4 volts. But anyway, there it is. So they do market this as an upright cleaner and not a stick vac. And I won't call it an upright, really. It's just big enough for me to class it as an upright, in my opinion. So, finally I'll get to the demo before this video gets too long. I've got some fine particles in here as well as some bigger ones. So that's a mixture of flour and cereal. See how well the machine copes with finer particles. I'll put some over at the edge as well. I don't think it'll do very well, but you never know, do you? Move that carry bag out of the way, don't know why that's there. So there we have it. Let's have a go with this and see how well it does. So there you have it. So it's no way the suction of an upright cleaner, a normal mains powered one, but you know, it's a pretty good machine and I really like it. So there you have it. So some dirt's fell out the bottom there, so just quickly pick that up again. So there you go. And of course, to empty it, just put it over a bin and press the release button. I can grab hold of it and go, and all your dirt falls out. So there we go. So it seemed to do a very good job at picking up the fine particles. Did a better job on the boost setting, as I expected it to, but it's a very good machine really for a cordless. If you can get it cheaper than 349, say 200 at the most, then that'd be good. But personally, if you had £350 to spend on a vacuum, I'd get a mains powered one, to be honest. Because you're going to get a lot more suction, and of course you're not restricted to running times. But there you go. And I suppose, just for the hell of it, I might as well just pick this back up again while you're still here. So here we go. Thanks for watching.